we are, my bloody podcast time. I'm Bryan Kluger. Have a fantastic episode for you all today. I have two legendaries, intercontinental champions of horror and film, coming in, weighing in at one of the best horror films in decades. Danny and Michael Philippou, welcome to the show. Get the pen. 3, 2, 1.
What is happening here?
Thanks for having us.
How are y'all doing today?
We're very excited. It's opening day for our film around the world. So we're very, very, very nervous and excited to speak to you, Bryan.
Very excited to speak with y'all. We're going to get into Talk to Me. But first, like in The Sound of Music, we have to start at the very beginning. So, where did it all begin for you two in movies? Was it something you watched on your parents' TV? Was it a radio show? Was it a comic book? What all started for you in film?
R.L. Stine, Goosebumps. I remember reading those books and being so surprised that one man was able to create all these worlds and all these characters and all this horror iconography. In my child mind, I was just overwhelmed and I wanted to be R.L. Stine.
Well, I remember we used to, before filming, we'd have like these toys and we'd act out movies with these toys and then draw covers, like the movie covers. And we used to look at a clock and then time it. So it'd go for like 90 minutes and we try and make it a movie in 90 minutes that no one would ever see. And we drew covers that still no one would ever see. But
our first movie we ever made, we were 9 years old. It was called The Evil Flamingo.
And it is horrible.
But there are good death scenes in it.
Oh, it's a great film.
Yeah, the characters needed work, but the death scenes were they were good.
So The Evil Flamingo, do you remember what like home video camera y'all shot on?
God, it was this big
and disgusting,
big, heavy one that Dad had, and we broke it. I felt bad because it was heavy, and we broke it. And I remember we did something and we broke the sound. We were really horrible. And then Dad bought us.
Do you remember the movie The Swamp that we made?
Yeah, yeah, The Swamp.
Yeah, we made a whole bunch of stuff as kids, and
we were right on the verge between digitals, right before digital came across. So we couldn't edit our stuff or anything like that. It was just we had to edit while we were shooting.
And also, I did the sound effects with my mouth and the music.
We hit the wall when people are punching,
and I'd make the music like I would go around doing terrible music with my mouth.
Those soundtracks are available on vinyl.
If you want to buy one, we will sign up for you.
I will absolutely buy it and add it to the record collection. Do you still have all of these old movies like on VHS or DVD?
Yeah. I need to go home and convert them.
Yeah, we've got to convert them. There's some that are still in those little tapes and we don't know what's on them. So we're a bit afraid to convert them.
We were very violent kids.
Yeah,
Who knows what we're doing?
There was some we even recorded us we'd go into houses getting built and do fight scenes in them. I felt pretty bad.
Yeah. We did a bit of trespassing as kids. We did.
And do you think any of those will see the light of day as a bonus feature on a future Blu-ray or 4K release?
I think I would love to convert them and edit together at least all the kills and some of the music.
That's good because we haven't actually done that. Nobody's seen any of them. We've got dozens and dozens of these movies that we made. Even this TV show when we were kids. That was fully edited. That was cool. It was called Tamuffy because our friend's name was Tamani and we liked Buffy. So it was Tamuffy. And we ended up doing, 10 seasons?
10 seasons, 86 episodes.
86 episodes, 6 movies that no one's ever seen. So it would be good to release some of these at one stage.
And Talk to Me is your new film and it's out today. And it is one of the bright spots, if not the brightest spot in horror right now. What was y'all's intro to horror?
I remember the first thing that I watched that scared the hell out of me was Alien 3. And I would have been like nearly a toddler. And I just remember, I remember not being scared of the alien. I just remember there was a scene where the alien was inside a character and it was coming out of him. He had glasses on and his face was pale and veiny. That's all I remember. And I've not revisited it, but I remember that scared the hell out of me as a kid.
Yeah, because Mum was really specific about what we were allowed to watch and not. She was with ratings. It was something about the rating, because in Australia it was MA, PG. And we could only watch PG. So when we were allowed, our dad was letting us watch Alien, which was M, we were like, "Are we allowed to watch this?" And then,
But yeah, it was just something exciting about defying your mother and saying, I'm going to watch this. And so it was always like consuming all that stuff you weren't meant to, like all the child's play movies.
yeah, like there was a video store, like we used to go to the local video store and had all the horror movie section, and you'd always just look at these covers and wonder what was in them. And once our grandfather started living with us, he didn't speak any English or understand what we're allowed to watch or what we couldn't. So we had him get all the adult stuff.
Yeah,
he got told off. I felt bad for him.
Yeah, we always used to make him buy us all the R-rated
And when
stuff.
he got told off for the heavy ones, then we started to make him get cartoons that were R-rated. And then he gets told off for that as well. And he yelled, "But it's just a cartoon. It's a cartoon. It's okay."
Oh, that's so good. And then in Talk to Me, there's this element of this supernatural and being in contact with the dead. Is that something y'all did growing up, Ouija board style? Were y'all always interested in like any of that? And did y'all have any personal experience with Ouija boards or trying to contact other realms?
Well, I know that we're obsessed with the idea of the paranormal, and we've stayed at 6 of the 10 most haunted places in the world. And
it's a thing through YouTube. You're allowed. We get the opportunity to travel a lot. So every country that we go to, we just look up on Google, like, what's the nearest haunted place, and let's stay there. So we've been to a lot, and I don't know if I necessarily believe in the paranormal, but it's always fascinated me. I always love hearing stories from psychic or people that have had experiences, and I always want to have those experiences. So we always go into the dark forest that you're not supposed to, I guess.
Oh, I love it. And then growing up together with you two, how is your creative mind shaped from when you were a kid to now? Is it the same? Has it built? Has it gone down in flames? What is it?
Well, I think that we have like a united vision, like from making stuff from such an early age that we're able to be on the same direction with things. Like we know, I think what we work, and we typically have the same sort of vision. We could never write together though. Like I co-wrote Talk to Me with another guy, Bill Hinzman. I could never write with Michael because he's just, he's shallow.
I'm just too smart.
He's too shallow.
Too smart.
And this interview will now just be me. And writing was a really difficult process actually.
But the filmmaking was even more.
Oh, that's so great. I'm so happy that it looks like y'all had a wonderful time on set. Can you talk to me a little bit about the actual production shooting on set? And was there a moment where you both stepped outside of your bodies and said, holy shit, this is amazing. What we're doing is amazing.
That was as soon as it started getting put together in pre-production and we saw the first set being made and we were like rehearsing with the actors. That's when I was like, what? This is the greatest job in the world. I cannot believe we get to do this. And the experience on the set was literally just carnage. Like we were just so overstimulated. There were so many things that were just to think about that we were excited about, from working with the actors to like the production designer, like mapping out the shots of our cinematographer, Aaron McCliskey. So many, even like the conversations with our co-writer and our producer, Samantha Jennings, everything was like we could barely sleep. It was just it was literally living a dream.
And it was like, it was supposed to be an 8-week shoot, and because of budget reasons and like us deciding to go independent, casting Sophie, things like that, it got dropped down to a 5. So we were like, it was, go time every single day, but having like an amazing crew that want to make something cool and then an unbelievable cast, it was just this crazy storm that we're all facing together every day. It was so much stress, but so much fun.
Awesome. And I have to bring up, I'm a big movie score person, and Cornell Wilczek did the music. Can you talk to me about getting him to come aboard your movie and making the music? Did y'all have any influence, and what do y'all think about the score?
Man, the music and sound is so important to me. From way back when, as long as I can remember, it's always something that I've loved. And it wasn't easy to find the sound. It came in the end, which was amazing, and it sounds the way that we want it to sound. But if there was a lesson I'd learned, it was to have music be part of the process earlier. So for the next film, I want to start in pre-production. Even now, I write scenes and give it to a composer and Cornell, and then he's writing stuff to so we can find the sound early. Because I feel like it's a bit unfair to composers to have, something at the end. Okay, slap music on it, as opposed to it not being part earlier. I want that ingrained in the bones of the script. So, like, that's really exciting for me. That idea moving forward.
Well, Michael put together an entire temp score for the movie, and we were constantly editing while we were on set and putting together the movie. And by the end of it, we both had our own cuts of the movie, and the editor had a cut of the movie. And like, it was that process was like finding all the best moments and like find the pacing and the rhythm. But like, to be editing to your own music, I think would be very, very helpful next time.
Yeah, and I'm so specific, and I don't like. Even with notes and things like that, I can't verbalize, it's an A key, an E key, or whatever. I just have this weird thing where I'm like, it has to be a higher note. They're like, D minor. I'm like, no, just D. Yeah, that one there, and no one understands. But in my head, it's right. So it was amazing working with Cornell,
because he was the first one that really like vibed with Michael, and he only had like 3 weeks or 4 weeks to like turn the entire score around, or even less maybe.
Because we had to do the music again. There was big issue. The music is the whole film in itself. It's the whole story.
No, it's good. It's so good. It's very memorable. I can't wait to get it on vinyl if it does come out on vinyl.
It is. It's getting re-recorded. It's getting recorded.
I think that was a secret.
A secret? Whoa! Yeah, it's a scoop!
Exclusive!
24.
Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I'm going to be first in line. So in writing the screenplay and coming up with story in horror, there's always a fine line of comedy and horror, and you two seem to have perfected it and talked to me. Let me know what the creative process was in writing those comedy bits that are so laugh out loud funny and mixing it with horror.
That we're very inspired by Bong Joon-ho and Memories of Murder, and that South Korean cinema where they are, they balance those tones so seamlessly. It's so incredible that something can be so hilarious and then so damn dramatic in the next moment. We just love the way that they're able to do that, and so we're pretty inspired by that.
I remember there was a film that we wrote, and we were like getting notes and stuff from it. It was before Talk to Me. It was this thing called Concrete Kings. That didn't work ultimately, but it was we were trying to do that genre merging, and it like I remember like someone reading it and saying, "You can't. It's not you. What film do you want it to be? Do you want it to be? It has to be a comedy or an action or like why can't I have all different emotions?" And they're like, "Name a movie that's like that." I was like, "Memories of Murder is like that. That's Bong Joon-ho's like that." And then the person said, a Korean cinema has a tone of their own. You're not quite hitting it here. So it was a constant, I guess, process to try and make it flow and feel like of a piece.
Awesome. So a couple of fun questions for you and important questions. So if you can insert this embalmed ceramic hand and what it does into any other movie in the world to make it better, whether it be Sleepless in Seattle, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, what movie do you want to insert that hand into?
Oh, and it doesn't have to be a horror film. It could be any film.
It could be any film.
My heart's broken by the end of Titanic. And if only Kate had a way to speak to Jack and apologize to him for she pretty much murdered him
for hogging the.
Yeah, she murdered him. So I think that like if she could just apologize to him, I think that'd be a nice moment.
Danny's not able to sleep at night because Kate never got to share that.
It's such an old debate, I know, but every time I rewatch it, I'm like, fuck, just move over, Kate. God damn it. And so I think that she could apologize to him.
Awesome. Her heart will still go on for sure. What about you?
God,
Marco doesn't watch movies.
No, I do. I can't.
He hasn't got deep film knowledge like me.
Right now, I feel overwhelmed.
No one's heard of Titanic.
I feel like I have to like sleep on it for a few weeks.
Well, the podcast is now.
I ask the next question. I'm gonna think on this in the background, and then by the end of this podcast, I'll let you know.
All right. So
all right. So if you are gonna shake the hand personally, what famous dead person would you want to see in front of you?
Oh my God, Alfred Hitchcock. I just want to have a good old chat with him. I think that would be quite extraordinary. I'd love to talk to Hitchcock. Michael?
God! I'm slipping on the wall.
He's God, you're so useless. God damn it. Sorry about him.
He's on the spot. He's not an on the spot person. All right. And my last question for both of you. You're obvious from your movie here, you're big cinematic aficionados. Are there any particular scenes in movies that have helped shape you creatively that have always stuck with you?
There's a scene in Zodiac where there's this big build up to him being in a basement. Like it's like all these clues. The killer's got to be like this or here, and then they finally meet someone that's hitting all these like all these like personality traits that the killer would have, and then they're in the basement, and he hears footsteps above him, and he's like, who else is in the house? And the guy's like, no, it's just me, it's just us. And then you look up and you hear like the creaking of someone walking around above them. I remember feeling so tense in that scene, and it really stuck with me to be like, oh wow, this is a way to be scary and create tension without any kind of like jump scare. It's just that there's that brooding tension, and I remember that really stuck with me. And like that's like, I thought it was just genius filmmaking on all levels, the sound design and everything.
That was great. Mine is Zelda from Pet Sematary. That was so damn scary. Oh my god! Especially when they walk to the room and there's just that wide shot, and she's sort of blending into the furniture. She's crouching over, and then she runs up right in front of the camera. Man, that's horrifying.
Oh, there we go. That and also another one that sticks to me is 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. When she gets thrown down. That was the first film. We had this lady that used to take us to the movies when we weren't supposed to be watching these movies.
We watched that in cinema when we were like 11.
Oh, 11 years old. And then I actually felt sick. I had to leave the cinema. When she goes down and her friend's hanging on the meat hook and he's got no leg. And he's like, come on. And she's like, no, I'm going to pull you off. And she tries to pull him off and he slides further. And I had to leave. That's who should do the hand. I want him when he's hanging with no leg to do the hand.
Michael was such a coward. I really convinced her name was Jenny to take us to watch these MA 15+ movies. I'm like, please, like we're okay. We won't be scared. And then Michael ran out crying, and it was like,
intense.
It was so you're a coward.
And the lady at the counter's like, "Are you sure?" And Jenny's like, "They'll be fine." And then that lady, I remember looking at her because she knew that I left when we were leaving.
This is so good. I don't think you realize you both talked about David Fincher movies today on this show. Alien 3 and Zodiac.
What was my one?
Alien 3.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. Damn.
Yeah. Wow.
Damn.
Fincher, you the boss.
Right. Alien 3 was David Fincher. I need to rewatch it. I will rewatch it. For you.
We need to do
for you, Brian.
A David Fincher fest.
For you, David.
We will. We'll have you back on the show. We'll do a David Fincher horror show. We'll all talk.
Yes.
We'll get to it. Thank you guys. Find their movie Talk to Me in theaters now. It's the best in horror. Thank you so much.
My man, thank you so fun talking to you.
And you've got to put us on your collection up there.
Yeah, we've got to be up there. That's it. Our still case better be up there.
Oh, no, you will absolutely be up there. I cannot wait. And can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah!
Give me a hell yeah!